Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today we are having the second part of our workshop related to SmartAfriHub, which is closely linked to Hub for Everybody. So let me introduce Mr. František Zadražil, the main developer and the best teacher all over the world, who will tell you more about how we will proceed. Thank you.
Okay, so as I said a minute ago, I will start with a quick recap of what we have seen or what we have done last time. So let me start with sharing my screen, this one. And I hope you are seeing QGIS window right now.
Yes.
And I'll also open my notes here to know what I'm willing to say. Okay, so what we have done last time, I've shown you how to publish your data, basically. So we have created account on the portal. We have used ng-smartafrihub.com. So hopefully you all have accounts there. We have published some data layers and map compositions through web map application and through QGIS layman plugin. We have tried to set permissions for all of those, and what we haven't finished is how to publish our map on the actual web portal, how to create a web page and insert a map. So that's the main point of today's workshop. But as I said, I'll start a quick recap, and that will contain also creating a new map. So if I switch back to QGIS, you should remember that this is the QGIS layman plugin. I'll move it here. So the first thing I need to do is to log in to my account. You see that I have selected ng-smartafrihub.com because that's the server we are using right now. This is my login, and I'll try to log into my account. It was successful, so you can see that the plugin is available here, and we can start. I will open some QGIS project I have created before. So this is really not the topic of our webinar, because that's like the basic usage of QGIS, but it's not really difficult. If you open QGIS and you have some data on your local hard drive, you can simply drag and drop with your mouse to this window, and it will be added to the project. Then those data will appear in the layer list, and you can work with it as you wish. For example, you can export it to the portal, as we have seen before, or you can create a map complete. So you can see that I have 3 layers here. All those layers are related to Uganda. There is some boundaries of counties, sub-counties, and to have it more interesting, I've added Uganda water bodies with some blue symbology, as you can see. And actually, I don't load those data from the physical files on my hard drive, because I have already published those layers to our portal. So those are already WMS services. I have it here in the project. But you can, if you want to create the map, it's still the same. Doesn't matter whether it's a local file or if it's a service. Okay, so let's create a new map. That's what this icon is for. You can see that I don't have any current composition opened, so let's create a new one with this button. Because my QGIS project is called Demo Part 2, this is automatically filled in here. Of course, you can change it to whatever you want. I will fill some description. You can set extent of of the composition, and then simply create with this button. And that's it. And map is created and stored on our server. It can be right now. It can be already accessed from the web portal or the web map. First thing I want to do is to set permissions, because if you create the map, its permissions is set to private, so it's visible only to you. But I don't want that. I want it to be visible to all of you. So let's click set permissions, and this dialog will appear. And here you can, we have went through this last time actually, but I'll go through it once more. You can select specific user you want to share the map with, or you can select everyone, and I'll add everyone to have read permission for this specific map and save it. Now I'm asked whether I want to set the same permissions for the layers included in the map. Actually, I don't have any layers in the map yet, so no. And permissions was saved successfully. Okay, we can close it right now. So now I have an empty map, which is visible to everyone. And now we need to add some layers to the map. By default, all the layers in QGIS project that are currently here are listed in here. So if you want to add all the layers to the newly created map, you can simply check all layers, or check uncheck as you wish. You can select the type of the service you want to use, whether WMS or WFS, and you can select how do you want to add it to the map. You can see that I already have those layers on the server, so I can simply add a reference to the layers to the map. I don't have to upload anything to the server, but I could also add and overwrite if I want to take my local copy of the layer and overwrite the existing one on the server. I guess you can hear my son somewhere here. Okay, so we have added those layers to the map composition and save changes. And now if everything goes fine, those layers are saved and the composition now contains those layers. So that's something we went through last time, but I wanted to show it again, and actually to create a new map we'll be using later. And now maybe it's a good time to switch to some pictures. And let me move. You have probably seen this picture before. If not, I will make a quick intro of it. This is actually the schema of the architecture of the web portal we are using. So there is some content management system which is for creating the web pages. There's this web map application we use to publish our data and view our data. There is QGIS layman plugin we have used right now to publish the map. And then there are some server components like layman publishing server, which actually does the publishing on a back. And there is Mitska metadata catalog. That's the place where all the metadata are stored. But you don't have to care about those components. You are, as a user, you are using just HSLayers-ng, which is the web map application, and QGIS desktop layman plugin. And you can see that we have recently added QField apps here. if you haven't heard about QField, that's just I call it usually the mobile QGIS, because it's a native mobile application you can download to your cell phone, and it's actually based on the very same libraries as QGIS is. So it's a very complex application with many possibilities. And the main purpose of this application is to be able to access your data out of Office, or to collect data, edit your data when you are outside on the field. But we have even changed this a bit, or extended a bit through the hackathon. And now you can see that there is a new component on the left, because up until now, the only way how to get your data to the mobile application was to directly connect your phone to the computer and copy the QGIS project to the mobile application. A few months ago, the QField Cloud application started, or it's still in the beta version, but it's already accessible and it's working. From my experience, it's working somehow with some bugs, but it's working. So our task in the last month or so was to extend our geodata management workflow with this QField Cloud, so we don't have to copy our data directly through cable or whatever, but we can use cloud solution. So actually, if you create a map in QGIS, as I did right now, you can publish it not only to our portal, but you can publish it also to QField Cloud and access it from your mobile phone. So that's the current state of things. We are working on even closer interaction or integration. What we want to do is to be able to integrate QField Cloud to our cloud. So it should look something like that. So actually, we would like to be able to run QField Cloud on our infrastructure and use our authentication. So if you have your user account in our portal, SmartAfriHub.com, then you could also upload your data under the same identity, with the same identity to the QField Cloud. That's not working yet, but we are working on it. And maybe it's a good time to ask questions if you have some. If you don't, you can notice that in this same dialog I've used before to create the map, I have this new button, and it wasn't there last time. There is this new button, Export to QField. So I actually am able to take this map and publish it to QField. And you can see that I'll have to log in once more, and that's exactly because, as I said before, QField Cloud is currently a separate system. So we are working on integrated it under our portal, but it's not done yet. So I have to log in here to the QField Cloud, and it's probably good to say where you can find it. I'll send it to the chat. So if you are interested in mobile applications, you can create your account on QField Cloud. There is a simple registration form, and to be honest, you can use QField and QField Cloud even without our solution. It's completely separate solution, but we are working on integrating both of those systems. So I already have an account. So let me sign in. Username, password, and login. You can see I have it in Czech language, so hopefully it will be understandable. And you can see that I have already published some data in the cloud. So let's now add this new map to the cloud. I log in. If it works, a new dialog should appear. Yep. And here you can say that I can again specify the name of the project that will be published to the cloud. I can change the description. I can set it to public. If I don't check this one, it will remain private, so just for me. Then here you can see the list of my existing projects, so I can actually take those layers and add it to some existing project. But for now, I want to just create and export my current composition, my current map. So let's try this. You can see that something is going on. And export was successful, so I can close this right now. And if I go back to the cloud and refresh my projects, there should be a new one. Yeah, this one, demo part 2. If we open it, you can edit the details of the project. You can see all the files that are included in the project. So you can see that there is some QGIS project file. But if you want to view the data, actually, that's what you do on your mobile phone. So this is really only a storage, this cloud. So you can manage your projects here. But to be able to view your maps, you use your mobile phone. So let's switch to the mobile phone. I have an Android applicator.
František.
Yes.
Before moving, I have a question, stupid one, because I don't have my own map, but I found from QGIS your map, your composition.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems that I cannot do the same as you, because you are the owner of the composition, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Correct. Okay, then it's fine. Yeah.
Because you don't have the right permissions, or you are not the owner, so you would have to create your own map to be able to publish it.
Yes, I cannot use your map and put it into the cloud. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good to know. Thank you. Now you can go on.
You are welcome. Okay, so I suppose you are familiar with how mobile apps work. So because I use Android, I open the Google Play App Store, and I'm looking for QField. So I have found this application QField for QGIS, and I can install it right now. You can do the same on your mobile phones. It will take a minute, I guess. So if you haven't done so, you can use this time to create your QField cloud account. And it's installed, so it was rather quick. And we will open QField app on the mobile phone. You can see that QField asks you to give it a permission to make photos or to use your photos on the device. That's simply because, as I said, QField is meant to collect your data. So it's very, very common use case to collect data together with some pictures. etc. So I can allow it here, and of course it's a mobile app, so it will ask for your location if you are working with the map. Now you can see some release notes of the last version. We can close this one now. And that's how it looks. Yeah. So you can either open local file, and actually that was the only option like 2 months ago. That's the option you used when you've copied your project directly from QGIS, as I said. And this is a new option here, QField Cloud Project. So that's how you access your cloud project here. So let's click on it and sign into the QField Cloud. I'm signed in, and now the list of my projects is being loaded. So you should actually see the very same list of projects as on the web page. If I refresh it here again, so this is what you should see on the mobile phone too. And you can see that demo part 2, this is my new map. I can see it here, and it's available on the cloud, but missing locally. And to be able to use it on the mobile phone, you have to download it first from the cloud. So if you click on it, it actually starts downloading it to your device. This can take a few minutes, if depending on your data. So as they say here, please hold tight. Any other questions while it's downloading? I hear no questions, but you can see that it's already downloaded, so it's available locally. And if I tap on it again, it opens my published map in the mobile phone. You can work with here. You can open the layer list, etc. So this workshop is not about QField, but I wanted to show you this new possibility to publish your data not only to the web portal, but also to the mobile phone. Of course, you can also use this web portal on your mobile phone if you use your web browser, but native apps like this one is always more comfortable than using a web page. So you can see it was really simple. It was very simple process how it can be done. And now I've promised you that we will take this map we have just created, and we will make its own web presentation on the web portal. So let's go to the portal. You can close the cloud now. So this is our portal, and if you have created your account last time, or if you haven't, you can do it right now. I have granted you the permissions to publish web pages. So if you look at the portal, I will send the link to the chat to be sure. If you open this web portal, you should see this icon of a little bird. This bird is called wagtail. That's why we are using this name. And if you click on this icon, there is a context menu where you should see the link to the wagtail admin. And if you click on this, you will get to the administration part of the web portal. You don't have such permissions as do I. I'm administrator of the whole portal, so you will probably see or have less items here in the menu. But you should see that there is 8 pages already existing on the portal and the list of the recent edits. If we want to create a new page, well, the simple way is to click on pages, and here you can add a new child page. Why it's called child page and not just page, that's simply because all the pages in Wagtail are actually child pages to home. So we have some home page and all other pages are child pages to home. So let's click on it and create a new page. And you can see that we have 3 options here. Article landing page is some index page when you are making a blog or something like that. I guess we already have it on the portal. If I go here and open blog, so that's how article landing page looks like. If you create this one, you can then create article pages. So this is landing page for articles, and then you can create articles under it. And articles look like this. You can create web forms. That's not interesting for us today. But what we are going to use is simply web page. It's a web page extended because we've actually extended it by some features or widgets of our own. So let's click on web page extended. And here you can see a very simple page where you can specify the content of your page. So of course, this page must have some title. Let's call it Workshop Part 2. You can select some cover image, for example. I will select this one. And here in the body part, you specify the actual content of the page. So you can see that you can insert some cards. You can insert raw HTML code if you know how to use. You can use responsive grid row, which is actually a nice layout even for mobile phones, and some other widgets. The last one is hs_map. So that's what will be interesting for us, because that's the widget which will allow you to insert the very same map you can see here. So you can actually insert this map application simply by adding this widget to the map, to the page. So let's create some content here. I'll insert responsive grid row, and because it's a row, rows must have columns. You can see that if you create a responsive grid row, you again have this plus button through which you add content under the grid row, or you can add more content to the page, and it looks still the same. So let's add column, and now you can have one or more columns in the row. So let's set it to half a column and put there some text. I'll use some lorem ipsum generator to create some content. And now we already have some web page. If you want to see how it will look, you can use this preview button here, and that's the preview of our web page. So you can see that there is this text of mine, there is this cover image at the top, there is title of the web page. Okay, we have created a web page with some text. Still not very interesting. That's what every content management system does. But if I click on the add button again, I can add a map, as I said. So if you want to insert a map, there is a few things you need to specify. And the first one is ID, because you can insert as many maps as you want to the page. You have to give it a unique ID. So each map in the web page must have a unique ID, so the system knows which map are you working with. So let's simply call it map 1 because there is one map. And I'll skip this one right now. You'll get to it later. Then you can specify map center and default map zoom. So it means if you want the map to be zoomed to some location, you can specify it here. I guess I have some coordinates here. Let's keep it like this. And if we update the preview again with this button, the preview should be updated with the map. And that's it, yeah. It's simple like that. And you can see that the map is actually zoomed to my city where I live. And you have all the tools that are available in HS Layers framework. Okay, any questions so far?
Yes. How do you set the zoom so to your city?
How I do it?
Yes.
Well, I've specified map center, which means the exact location on the map. So those coordinates are actually in my city. Yeah.
Okay.
You are welcome. And as you can see, it would be much more nice if I stretch the map for the whole width of the page. So let's change the size of the column here to automatically, and it will look like this. That's much better. So you can easily insert the map to the web page like this, and that's it. Yeah, there is one more option, zoom with control, that can be very useful when you have map page like this. And if I scroll with my mouse through the web page and I move my cursor above the map, I suddenly start to zoom in the map. That's not desirable all the time. So if I check this option and update the preview, the map is in a new mode, and you can see that you have to use control key to be able to scroll in the map. If you don't press control key, it scrolls through the page. So that's some useful option here. And you can see that then there are advanced settings. I will touch this one only briefly because it's really advanced right now. As you can see, here are only three big text boxes when you can insert some code definition. But I could maybe show you what can be done with it. So, for example, map layer definition is used to add more layers to the map. So if you want to add more layers, you have the chance to do it. If you have ever used Open Layers framework, it's the format of it. I have some predefined layer in this format. If I update the preview, there should be a new layer in the map called address points. And those are the red dots here. But I can understand that this is really not understandable for you, or most of you. And actually, that's another thing we are working on right now to make it much more easy to use. So you will not have this text definition here, but you have nice user interface to be able to add WMS services, ArcGIS services, etc. with just clicking in the form. I just wanted to use that this option is here. So let's close it now, and forget about it. But I've promised you to publish your own map in the page. So if we go back to QGIS and our map we have created, you can see this button here, copy URL. And we need this URL to be able to publish this map in the web portal. So if I click on it, you can see that the URL was saved to a clipboard. And here I have URL of composition, so I simply paste it here. And if I update the preview, I should see my map here. That's it. So you can see the 3 layers we have added to the map. So you have a nice web presentation, including your web map you have created, either through QGIS or through the web map application here. So if I go back to start, maybe we could create a new map even, column, just there's map, call it map 2. I can do it like this. And now I should have 2 maps in the page, actually. So you are free to try, yeah? And you can see that both those maps have different content based off what I've specified in the content management system. Once you are satisfied with your web page, you can save it as a draft, which means it will not be available at the moment on the web page, on the web portal, or you can publish it. And I guess you don't have permissions to do that. You will have only submit for moderation, if I'm right. That means that the page you create must be approved by someone like me.
Franta, one suggestion. Will it be possible to add button for switching on slider?
Which slider do you mean?
This division of the map window.
You mean this one?
Yeah, yes. If it will be possible also to make this from defining of the window.
Well, it's the tool is there by default.
It's there by default, yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's this icon. So
no, but if it will be possible to decide it when you are preparing the map, because people don't know to start initial map with slider.
Yes, it is possible, and right now it's hidden under these advanced options. So if you go here and go to this second definition that's called map tools, you can actually insert a definition of all the tools that are available in HS layers, and you can say for each of the components whether it's whether it's enabled or not. So it's set to true or false. The component for the slider, it's called map swipe. So it's true here. So the panel is enabled. The panel is there actually, but it's not, the tool is not switched on. If you want to switch on, that's components enabled, and that's false. So if you set this to true, it will be switched on by default. Again, this is probably not very understandable for most of you, but we are working on making it more understandable. Actually, this definition will be replaced with a set of checkboxes when you can switch different features on and off. So I guess that's the answer to your question, Carol.
And I have a question for the swiper.
Yeah.
If you want to compile two maps, is it better to have the two maps in the same map composition, or you can merge, like you had this function to merge two map composition to compare it?
Well, there is a limitation right now for the definition of the swiper, because if you use your composition, I'll show it here. If you use your composition, maybe not the best choice. Demo part. This is my composition. If I enable the swiper, you can see that now I have all the layers in the entire map, and I can drag and drop it to the left or right, and then you can compare. So you can edit it here, but it's up to user to define this. If you want to make this ready for user, right now you have to use this map layers definition.
Okay.
So you have to insert a layer definition here, as I showed before, and here you have to insert parameter. I guess it's called map swipe. It has the possible values like left or right. Yeah. So that's how you define it.
Okay.
If you are interested in this topic, please let me know, and we can look at it in more detail. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Or maybe it's just swipe. I'm not sure right now. I would have to look it up in the documentation. But as I said, those are the advanced use cases. Any other questions? Maybe were anyone of you able to create a web page with the map? No questions, so I guess it was too simple for you. So everyone understands everything.
No, it wasn't. I'm struggling with LiveRay platform, which is awful. So I must admit that I lost the track in the very beginning. I didn't find the right place to work with adding a web page. I don't mind. I know that it's possible, but you know, the hub, the platform of the hub, it's not easy. And it might be that your view is different from mine. I think you said that, and that makes me lost the track.
Are you on the right hub at this NG? Because on the initial hub was LiveRay. Here is Vectile.
Aha. Okay. I don't know if I'm in the right track, in the right web page, but it doesn't matter.
Does it look like this?
Sort of.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not exactly the same. So I'm using SmartAfriHub.com.
That's the wrong one. That's the
no, okay, that explains all. Yeah.
That explains a lot, yeah.
yeah. So I should have this NG SmartAfriHub.
Yeah, that's why I sent the link in the beginning.
Oh, I lost that. Sorry, but I followed very easily your presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So once you are on the correct portal, you have this icon of the little bird, as I said, and through it you go to the Vectile admin, and here you can add the pages. If you click on the pages and add child page, that's it. Much more, from my experience, it's much easier than LiveRay. I understand that you struggled with that because LiveRay is horrible. Yeah.
Yes, I agree very much. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Everyone else on the correct portal? I hope so. And I'll quickly look into my notes whether that's all I wanted to say today. Yeah.
I must continue. Although I take your link to NG SmartAfriHub, it says this site can't be reached. It says that to me. Why? I don't know, but just for your information, don't do anything. That might be just my problem.
So this link is not reachable for you, yeah?
No.
Interesting.
Maybe I should close everything and start from the beginning and close or catches and whatever. Maybe
that's always good to try, yeah?
Yes. Incognito. Yeah, I will try. Go on.
Okay, no problem. And if you are willing to give it a time, please go later through this presentation again. And if you struggle with it more, please let me know. Maybe one more remark from my side is that when I go back to edit some web page here and to the map component or map widget, I would maybe say a bit more about these advanced settings we are working on. So we are actually trying to get rid of those large text boxes. So as I said, map truths will be replaced by a set of checkboxes or some nice component to use, where you will be able to select the components you want to be included in the map and to which components are going to be enabled or disabled. Map layers definition will be replaced by a dynamic list of layers, and then there is this very last data connections settings. I would say this one is the most advanced for you. Those connections, I just want to mention it if any one of you wonders what is it for. If you want to use this data catalog we have seen before, you have to specify the connection to the catalog. So the map application actually knows to which catalog you want to connect. So that's what this is for. By default, if you publish a map without this data connection settings, you will have this tool here. But as you can see, I have no option to log into the catalog. And that's it from my side. And I guess it was a lot for today.
Well, thank you very much, František. It was very interesting. It was indeed full of information for all of us. So we have recorded this session, and the recordings will be sent out to you, and it will be also available on our YouTube channel as well as on this SmartAfriHub blog. So yeah, as František said, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact us, me, Karel, or we will resend your questions to František, who would reply. And yeah, let's close the session today. I would like to thank you all for your attention, and yeah, I would like to somehow conclude our hackathon marathon, let's say. Maybe it was our last session. So thank you for joining us, and see you later. Bye.